That is me deep down. This ridiculous, sort of crudely drawn, absurd thing. That is a more accurate representation of me than me in the person.
Allie Brosh's blog, Hyperbole and a Half, has a rabid fan base, attracting as many as 5 million people per month. She's 28 years old, lives in Bend, Oregon with her husband and 2 dogs, and she's published her first book. It's a mixture of text and drawing, which she creates using Paintbrush, a simple image editing program.
So that the eyes are probably the shape that I'm working on the most. Just moving the pupil like 0.5 millimeter makes such a huge difference in a facial expression, or just shaving like a fraction of an inch off of the corner of a mouth.
But even though her drawings are somewhat crude, they hide an acute emotional sensitivity and are carefully, even obsessively rendered.
Like I'll be drawing and just like be trying to like make a mad face or a smiley face, and I'll make the face. It's probably looks somewhat insane. In a more recent post of mine, it's called Menace. It's about how I was corrupted by the power of a dinosaur costume. That one was an interesting one to work on as far as getting emotion across. So I wanted to convey a sense of being totally out of control of myself, but sort of enjoying it. Because it's sort of a like uncomfortable, like, why am I doing this? But I sort of like it.
She draws from childhood memories and her present life. And although the comic may seem histrionic, her life itself has been filled with incident. She has synesthesia, ADHD, and was once actually attacked by a goose in her home.
Birds are just like nature's silliest creatures, but somehow the goose can inflict serious harm. And so this was legitimately terrifying. We eventually got it cornered in our kitchen, which we had a sheet over the doorway to conserve heat. We thought we had the situation handled. The goose eventually figured out how to get out, and then chaos ensued.
Oh God, okay, get a blanket, Nugget, get a blanket, get a blanket right now, okay? Right now!
She posted close to weekly until 2011, when she published only 5 comics. The last of those was titled Adventures in Depression.
I've never been up against something in my life that I can't like sort my way through. Because usually if I'm upset or like, you know, I have something horrible happen to me or I'm grieving or something, I can go into my head and sort it out and process it and figure out how to get out of it. And it very much was not that way with depression.
The comic ended with Allie biking home from a video store. She wrote that her depression got so horrible that it became a fear-proof exoskeleton. Thousands of people commented, and after 19 months without a post, she put up Depression Part 2.
I had learned how to cry again. I was crying, but sort of pointless crying. There was water coming down my face, and I wasn't really feeling anything about it, but it was better than just not feeling anything at all inside.
And then, underneath the refrigerator, something caught her eye.
I don't know if I was actually lying on the floor, but I did see this kernel of corn, and it was the most hilarious thing in the entire world to me. It was maybe because it was so alone. There were a couple of hairs stuck to it, just by itself in the back there. You know, I get you, little piece of corn. I'm right there with you, buddy. Well, you originally asked about how I feel going into all these interviews. Which is a little bit apprehensive, hopeful, and resigned in a way that I'm gonna train wreck eventually. This is pretty much what's going on in my head right now. This is what I'm doing mentally when I am train wrecking. Sort of. Yeah, so there's looking just a little like apprehensive, like what's next?